long hard days. They don't say God's changed my ways, change my ways, those evil ways. So I set out across that way, strike them down, to make them pay, and change their ways, their evil ways.
It's fucking...
Ah, Kindred. Did you rest well? Not many of our kind around these parts. Appreciate your company for one more night, my fellow Darkwalker. Please do not let my appearance unnerve you, for I'm using Eyes of the Beast for an especially dark night. I know to have my protean discipline come out riles up the beast, like almost to the point of frenzy. But my self-control has tempered somewhat since we met at the nights of Queen Victoria's reign. Perhaps we will go hunting tonight, you and I. But you gotta keep up with my tracking though. As you know, I am uncommonly hasty. Huh? Help yourself. Nothing like a shot of blood and whiskey to whet a kindred's appetite. Can't feel the whiskey, but I love that lingering taste. Eduardo of My Negative Karma asks me, why is my bite poisonous? The truth is, I don't rightly know myself. I mean, I don't even know what animal aspects define me. Not enough have surfaced yet to be obvious. I know for sure, deep down in my feral heart, they are. And I will discover in time. That is the nature of our clan. We do not know what kind of creature feature is going to pop up next. So, I walked into the saloon. Bold as brass. Asked for their finest sipping liquor. He said, "You ain't from around here, are you?" If it's not bleedingly obvious, then I'm not from America. I said to him, "Would your name be Tanner, owner of this fine drinking establishment? Bootlegger and peddler of moonshine all across the southern states. Killed a sheriff in Wyoming, Texas. A drunkard. But killed him in cold blood, so they say. but I knew better. Hope that they appreciate how far I am with the people I have to kill. I'm not making that mistake twice. No more innocent lives. Unnecessarily. Never again. You see, the rumour at the time in this town was the sheriff was drunk and was manhandling and threatening a young lady, his sister. But what he didn't know is that I was there the entire time, obfuscated in the dark. Tell you the truth, he was getting so heavy-handed on her, I thought I was going to have to break obfuscation and step in. I told him all this with a Griswold to his face. Yes, I've had many a man staring down the barrel of my gun. If they lie to me, they ain't gonna do them much good, that's for damn sure. Better they come clean and be honest than have done nothing wrong and lie. If they can connive to me, they can connive to others. So I said to him, you know what I said to him? I said, tell me the truth now, boy. And there'll only be one dead man here tonight. You should have seen the look on his face. He went wider than even I am. And then a fella got up to my left. You know who it was? It's the sheriff. The Newtown sheriff. Drinking, of course. I stated that he should put down his guts and his gun, that he was a wanted fugitive, that I was a bounty hunter. And that, you know, if he stayed back down and kept on drinking on duty, that I would cut him a piece of the slice of the bounty. I was all riled up, and I was mighty hungry. He must have seen my eyes of the beast, 'cause he went down like a wet bag of cow slop. Anyway, Tanner spoke his piece. He spoke true. I will know he wasn't going to say anything else. And I wished him good evening. Get off! Get out of it! Spiders and small critters like to try and live in my hair. Pesky things. I don't think this is due to some sort of animalism or anything of the sort. I think it is just because my hair is just so full and thick. Varmints and whatnot like to live in it. I'm not having any of that. I bathe too regular. Reckon I wash more than a lot of these Gangrel. Smell like a dead polecat all the time. Damn wolves. Dangerous country. Moving on proper soon. Been all the way down Sharton Way. And crossed all along the Big W. Yeah, I think I've had enough of, well, howdy y'all, and well, thank you kindly, Oliver John, for the reckoning you partook of, taking down those brigands. Or, oh, you mark my words, that vampire gonna break the masquerade. Yeah, I think I've had enough of all that for my liking. You know, I managed to best the entire Red Bandana Bandit gang, which was apparently quite a feat. And nobody was capable of taking down those ruffians until I came along. Tombstone, most of Arizona, that gang were just a whole heap of unpleasantness. Good riddance. Anyway, getting the notion to move from town to town, place to place, used to satisfy my need to move on. But now, this increasing level of agitation, discomfort, there seems to be no alleviation from it. The daydreaming just doesn't stop. This longing for the ocean's pull of the sea has begun. Just have no notion what's going on. It doesn't seem usual, normal for Kindred. I've never met another of my kind with this. What is going on? Cannot afford to get lost out here. Especially can lose yourself. We live in a world of hurt. Keep struggling on somehow. And I've felt my fortitude increase even further. Any dark walker that has ever escaped a forest fire or caught an unexpected glimpse of the desert sun rising over the dune, and therefore narrowly escaped destruction, knows how vital this simple discipline is. That is the way of us Gangrel, although many of us resent our sires for doing so. When it comes to committing the same act, eventually yourself, it's less out of want than more out of some rigid practicality of survival. After the embrace, the sire leaves the new Gangrel on their own, proves that they can survive. You are what you are now, and if you can't hack it, tough. Thus the sire completely abandons their new creation on their first nights for their own good, leaving them alone to face the struggle of survival. That first night is the strangest, and you know all too well that it brings the beast quickly to the surface. It is in the throes of that first wild rage that the child makes any number of mistakes. I killed, I maimed so many people. But I quickly grasped my situation and adjusted. Any Gangrel resilient and capable to survive those first few nights may develop the tools needed to survive the nights that follow. Predator marks, claws, etc. And learns to make decisions for their own rapidly. But I promised myself I would stop dwelling. It does me no good. Take what I can from it and fight back. Learn. Never again. I do not abide. To be fair, I think I'm a vicious predator, but I pale in comparison to some of the others I have met. Like that Black Rider. Dual-wielding Remington revolvers, I saw him gun down 6 men. Put my own peacemaker skills to shame, and I find that hard to credit. Don't pretend you didn't see him. I know you did. Don't worry. You don't have to say anything, lest you have a curse levied on you for all time. You, me, and the devil makes free. You didn't see what he moseyed into town on. Only saw it from a distance. Thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Looked like some sort of hell horse. Silhouetted in black smoke, writhed in flame. Can't be real, all that stuff. Gotta be a reasonable explanation. This world can be very frightening. Some of the things that these kindred can do, I never thought were possible. A ranger out in Nevada told me the tale of a horse he heard galloping deep into the night on the desert plains, leaving a trail of flaming saloons and churches in its wake. His name, they call him the Black Rider, for they know not his true name. Folks tell tales from miles around. They find corpses drained and lifeless, said to be in league with the devil himself, but I find that hard to credit. I said, he said he's seen it with his own eyes. Burning buildings. Not normal. He said, have you ever seen green flames, my friend? Straight from hell itself. Can't say that I had. A warning he gave to everyone that walked the plains. If you go riding in the dead of night, the horrors you may find will be with you for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life might just be one more night. I should leave the West. For most Europeans, the New World is that place where everything is out of proportion, ungoverned and irresponsibly loose. Sounds exciting. Still, gravely wounded from the Civil War, the healing process has produced deep scars. Leaving all the reconstruction and detritus left to the carpetbaggers hardly helps matters. Yet the promise of the rebirth of the nation captures the people. These settlements out west, they are bolstered by the railroad that dwarfs all European invention. It attracts people seeking to restart after the maelstrom of loss in their lives. Fulfilling such dreams has remained elusive. This new life has not staved off the misery that attracts the working classes. Freedom of the South finds little respite under the erratic sharecropping system. Poverty, social inferiority, and violence from lynch mobs is undivorced from them. Immigrants pour into the eastern parts seeking fortune, only to find that unemployment, disconnection, and find themselves ghettoized from normal civilians. Railroad tracks run to places no one ever cares to go. I feed on drifters and bandits that roam aimlessly from town to town, that terrorize settlers and travelers. Order is preserved, only at gunpoint. And it's often accompanied by a preemptive butchery of the indigenous populations. Never by my hand. This world can frighten me intrinsically, as I frighten myself. Will a time come when I am so far gone to the beast that I do not remember what it was like to be a man? It seems to be a product of our condition, that over time, with all of us, we slowly become callous. And your experiences that no man should see harden you, and that you lose that original mortal concepts of right and wrong. We unlive and see what they only experience in their nightmares. But ours is waking. Can't ever give up or give in to the red surrender. We don't have that luxury. We have a responsibility to always hold on. Because if we do not, it will cause endless suffering. I mean, I've seen enough tragedy out here to last a lifetime. The mine I was holed up in had an explosion, causing a cave-in, releasing poisonous gases, with a few dozen men dying in utter fear and despair in their hearts in the last few moments. Dragged across a caravan of folk heading towards the same town I was, only to find a desiccated place that looked like everything had died of drought or cholera. The shock on the mortal travellers' faces when they realised that all the townspeople had died from the very water they had been drinking upstream the days before. Came across one town. Fields outside it had burnt corpses of cattle. Should have turned back there and then. Saved myself the sights. But my curiosity got the better of me. Diseases don't infect an undead thing like myself. And plus, there was nowhere else to shelter on the plains. As I got closer to the town, I began to see human remains in the cattle piles. The town was deserted. Expected as much, except for the swarms of vermin and the horrendous stink that was coming from the inside of the church. Within the church was the rotting remains of every last man, woman, and child, looking for their God's salvation from the accursed plague that had swept through, seizing their livelihood, cattle, and families. Wish I could forget half of this. As its tragedy, sorrow and angst sends ripples and echoes through not just our feelings, emotions and memories, but through time and space itself. So I'm told these events leave real haunts. They are literal ghost towns. Yeah, apparently that's a real thing. Wraiths, ghosts, and spirits and the like are actually real. Well, so often Kindred tell me. I've never seen any evidence of spectral entities. Don't even like the idea of it, to be honest. It just bewilders me. How is it that I have travelled 4 continents? I've never seen one. Apparently, according to the gifted Kindred, it's because I'm not open to such things. Oh well. I'm not missing out, that I'm sure of. That side can stay over that side. The cursed duality of our nature continues to both perplex and fascinate me. I've been spared from the nothingness of death, or the bitter torment of wraithdom, but the cheerful world of daylight is lost to me. Surely, anything is better than the quiet of the grave.
Obfuscate has become extremely useful, hasn't it? As we must hide in the dark from all the commotion out there. It's been quite the night, hasn't it, little darkling? Having to scarper to the nearest town to escape the rising sun. Just a bit of aggravated scorching there. You'll be alright, it'll heal. It'll just take time. Me? I've already fed. On that farmhand settler who shot that coyote in his backyard. You see, some would call it a flaw, and some would say it makes me a better warrior for the environment. But when I see a human kill an animal, not for food, not for the course of nature, but because a coyote has trespassed on his land or a dangerous predator has wandered too close to livestock. Like a call to preserve the wild, the urge to retaliate is so strong I can barely control myself. At those moments and for the instants afterwards, that need to enact that natural justice will linger in my mind and distract me, to hunt that person down. And my inner beast feels compelled and completely justified with draining and killing them. I did not have this urge when we first met. I was saddened by the suffering of the animal kingdom, but I had no rage behind it. I think with all the time I have now spent on the frontier, it is now ingrained within me. We will wait out the day.